So, to be honest, I don't know what I'm going to talk about in this video. I just wanted to make a video. I guess we could talk about, like, I've changed my plate carrier up a lot. We could talk about that. Alrighty, so we got my plate carrier. This is the same one that I've been using for a number of years now. It's by One Tiger, so I'm not sure what model it is. I'll try to leave a link to it. It's about $80 on Amazon, and so far, it's worked really well for me. Obviously, I've gone with the multicam because it just looks really cool. It works where I live, and also, if I ever need to, like, use this in a real-world scenario, it'll be more familiar to Americans when they see multicam, they'll recognize it as American. So yeah, starting up at the top, these I'm pretty sure are the actual stock shoulder pads that it came with. It came with really nice thick shoulder pads that have these Velcros on here that you can like loop things through. So up top, I'm just running a cord for a push to talk that'll wire around to the back to my radio. So on the front, I have my headlamp mounted there. I was recently at a game that ran pretty late into the night, and after it got dark, I realized that like I literally couldn't really do anything because I also didn't have a light on my gun. So what is happening? So I was using a new gun that I mostly bought to use indoors so it doesn't have a light on it, and I just couldn't see for like the entire game. And then there's also an admin pouch right here on the plate carrier that I'm going to come back to later because that's more important. But moving down from there, we have 3 just regular Magpul AR-15 mags in the front, each with 28 in them, because these are the mags that I would take in an emergency, and I want to make sure those springs are good and not under too much tension. And to be honest, I'm actually about to get new mag carriers for the front because these ones kind of suck and it's like impossible to take the mags out quickly, which is a new problem. It could be that my like inserts are getting old and like hard and holding them in too stiffly. I don't know, I definitely need a better setup for that. So over here on the side next to my push to talk, there is just another magazine in there, which is just in the actual cover bone that this plate carrier comes with. It just has these AR sized like elastic pouches, and you can put like literally anything in there. I mentioned this in a video before, but I played airsoft at a corn maze with some friends once, and I was literally just like picking up corn and putting it in that, and then whenever I heard people I would just take the corn and a couple times they like literally started running around, so I knew where they were and then I could just shoot them. And then moving around on the back, all I have on here is just my pouch. I'm just leaving it slick so I can run in like a separate backpack. And then on this side is literally just one cat tourniquet. I don't have it with my other medical gear just because it would take up too much space to be in the IFAK, and you would need to get to it a lot faster than you would for anything else. So every plate carrier should have 3 things. It should have ammo, of course. It should have medical, and it should obviously be a plate carrier, carry plates, and be able to stop rounds. So in other words, making holes, plugging holes, and preventing holes from being made in you. So we've gone over the ammo, we've gone over the tourniquet, which is just a little bit of my medical, and now let's get to the rest of the medical. So in the front here, this zipper admin pouch that I was talking about earlier is currently where I keep that medical. Now, when I get my upgraded mag pouches, I'm gonna get ones that have, again, 3 mag pouches on the front, and in front of that, it's gonna be its own separate medical pouch. And I also plan on getting the Warrior Poet Society, like, belt-mounted sled system for the medkit. I don't know if that's what they call the Warrior Poet one, but think like the Blue Forest gear or the Agulite, like, belt-mounted IFAK. But in here, I just have some fairly basic stuff. It is just one pouch, but I try to keep it as organized as possible. So first thing I got right here is just a pair of scissors. I don't have good combat shears yet. That's something I want to invest in. But just to hopefully at least be able to cut like the shirt off of somebody or something to find any extra bleeding or any extra wounds that I can't see when the shirt is on. And also it's just nice to have to be able to cut tape or bandages or whatever. So the next 2 things actually that I have in here are kind of one thing together. The first one is just quick clot little squares, not the packing quick clot because that's really expensive. So I just have little squares of quick clot that you can pack into a wound. For bigger gunshots, that's not going to be enough to just have one square. So then I also have a little pack of just compressed gauze to chase it with, which if you don't want to hear something a little graphic, maybe click off now. But basically with a wound that's bleeding a lot, you can either use a tourniquet or you can pack it, which basically means just literally packing material into it to stop the bleeding. So for me, what I would do is take this, peel it, you can put this in the wound first, and then if it's not enough to stop the bleeding, then you take the compressed gauze, which is just a really tight packed brick of gauze that you can kind of take out and continue to pack the wound until it stops bleeding. Really, the quick clot isn't super necessary, it's just kind of a nice thing to have. The compressed gauze is really a nice thing to have. But even in like a civilian setting, a t-shirt would work great. And then in here, whether it's for packing or for just a small wound, I just have a roll bandage. And then the last thing I have in here is chest seals. These are actually the full-size ones that I just kind of folded up, but these are by North American Rescue. So is the Tourniquet. They're an amazing company for all sorts of medical gear. All right, before I give you any advice on this kind of stuff, just be known that I am 16 and I am not a doctor, but this is all what I've been taught and this is my understanding. So the way that a lot of chest wounds work is that if there's a hole or something like that in between your chest wall and your lung, it can allow air to get in between there and not in your lung. So if the air is in between your chest wall and your lung, it can start to compress your lung when you breathe and obviously cause you to not be able to breathe as well. So what these do is they won't really stop bleeding, but you just rip it open, you take these out, and it's a really sticky substance with a valve on it, and you place that vent over the wound, and it'll allow you to breathe without air getting trapped in there, and the vent can allow some of that air to get back out. All right, so making holes, plugging holes, stopping holes. This is a cool one. I actually recently bought some nice level 4 plates. I guess nice is subjective. There were probably around $250 each, which is sort of a scary price range for a lot of plates, but I've done a lot of research on these. These are the Shooter's Cut plates from LA Police Gear, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a family-owned company that makes gear for police officers and notably their rifle armor. And of course, before you buy any plates, of course, do a lot of research on them. Look up, make sure they're NIJ rated. And what I did was just watch a lot of YouTube videos of people shooting them with a lot of big calibers, which obviously isn't like a super good test, but if it can stop like a lot of 30-06, it's probably pretty good. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I got a sustainment. I also have this thing here. This is my backpack. That's just kind of like for sustainment. Like I could live out of this for a couple days. Got some like food, water, medical, rain gear, stuff to make shelters, more ammo, more stuff. I can make a video about this too if you guys want to. But yeah, how you doing, man? I guess I'll like show some cool videos of me shooting now.
Yep. Brett.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I am trying to post videos. It's obviously, busy, but I'm not gonna stop posting anytime soon. I don't think. I want to keep kind of progressing my channel, not necessarily for a career or anything. It's just kind of a fun thing that I like to do. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day and Merry Christmas.